GGG, that's insane! What is it this? Apparently GGG released the gems. I need to see it. Area control spells. Void Sphere. Okay, we've seen that. Frost Shield. Sigil of Power. Flame Wall. Oh, we've seen Flame Wall too. We've seen this shit. We've seen this shit. Terrifying. Design. Very cool though. Okay. Frost Shield. What is it doing? Wait, are the mobs like disintegrating? Is that the word? When they come into it? I don't know. Sigil of Power. Seems to give you some sort of big zap. The animation's cool. I like how it like boots up a circle and then starts spawning the runes. Kind of like how Fullmetal Alchemist runes are. Cool. And the Frost Wall we've seen, or Flame Wall. Maybe they can elaborate on some of the mechanics of it. Cool, cool, cool. Kind of hard to tell what the fuck they're doing, so let's read up. Void Spear. Void Spear creates an object that generates a pulse with a large radius. The pulse deals physical and chaos damage and pulls normal, magic, and rare enemies towards its center. Man, what a terrifying ability. I don't think this skill works at all in current PoE. Because so many other ARPGs, and I know I talked about this before, but people saw some highlights on YouTube where I was like, oh no, about this, and they were like, how can you not like this? I love it. It's fucking cool as fuck, okay? It's omega interesting and fun, and it pulls in stuff and all this. It's just in every other ARPG, Last Epoch, Wolcen, fucking Diablo 3, there's always exactly this skill, and every build has to always use it every time. And I don't know, I can see the skill definitely working a lot better in the future of PoE, but in the current way that it is, I can only ever seeing it like being completely useless and terrible, or being something that everybody uses always. It's the sort of thing where they have to tweak a lot of numbers and move it around. It does seem to have a pretty significant cooldown, but you can reduce that cooldown as 6-ups with a lot of other things. We don't know what's going to happen with Explodey Chest, so corpse removal might be heavily valued, and that in general is like a pretty big deal as well. But then everything also has so much AoE now in PoE. I don't know. As cool as this ability is, and as much as fun as it is to use in other games, eventually the tedium of it and the necessity just outshines the potential fun, you know? But goddamn, is it cool. Frost Shield. Frost Shield creates an icy dome on the ground at your location that protects the caster and their allies from enemies. When cast, it rapidly consumes your energy shield. Oh, at a flat rate for 1 second, and will grow in power and life based on how much energy shield is drained. The skill provides protection until it runs out of life. All enemies close to or within the shield will also be chilled. A smaller shield provides you with better control over how many enemies enter the shield area for maximum damage mitigation. Man, these are so cool. But I also think this is a bad idea right now. This just seems so easy to abuse, the same way Void Sphere is. I think it's too early to release these abilities. PoE is definitely going into a direction where these things make a lot of sense. It's too early. I think we need more time. This is so strong. I don't know. Spooky. Very spooky. I mean, at least it's got a downside, sort of. It doesn't seem that intense, though. Yeah, we're in a transitional period for sure, and we've been in it since they announced PoE 2. And I really like these things because I've always been a big fan of cooldowns, vol skills, fucking rotations, combo abilities. I know people are maybe tired of that, you know. Many people miss that PoE was a one-click game. Fuck them. I love that shit. So to see PoE go into this direction with war cries, you know, these sort of skills, all of this is so great. It just might be a little bit too early for him, though. I think they might be a little bit too strong right now. Which, you know, doesn't have to be a bad thing if you just tweak it around. And it's not like they're not going to have to literally rebalance every single part of the game immediately before PoE 2 launches. Like, everything is going to be completely different when that happens. But that's still like 3 years away, you know? Very cool, though. Very cool. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy using it. Sigil of Power creates a potent circle on the ground that grants additional lightning damage to you and allies standing within it, while also slightly increasing the cost of your skills? Oh, fuck. That guy was right. I am going brands. I'm not getting away from Archmage for an eternity. God damn it. As you spend mana, the skill powers up in stages. Each stage grants more additional lightning damage once it's fully powered up. It also causes enemies standing within the circle to deal less damage? What? GGG, that's insane! They have to make these numbers like insane, where only like turbo cuck builds could benefit from it. That's so strong. Spellcast builds usually spend enough mana to fully charge up the sigil. Whoa! Non-Archmage builds can also fully juice it up? So I think this is really cool design, and especially it's really cool because I fucking love Archmage builds, okay? You already had to like ping pong your mana, and you had to, in some cases, smart usage of like mana flask, and you a lot of the times are using like a single click ability, but then you've got bigger cooldown and like buff and debuff uptime to worry about. Adding this makes it even cooler. But goddamn, is it strong. Oh no. I really need to see the patch notes now. I'm kind of freaked out a little bit. So strong. I think it's if it's a total amount of mana that you need to spend, then that would make a lot more sense. But if they do it something like, oh, if you spend 300, then you get one stage, another 300 2 stages, another 300 3 stages, like that sort of thing. I don't like that as much. But if you spend like 900 in one zoop, then you get 3 stages instantly. I think that would justify it a lot more to fit the archetype. I don't know. I definitely see this one as the least problematic one, but that also heavily depends on what sort of numbers we've got on it. This is definitely the biggest, potentially the coolest, but then potentially the biggest problem for current PoE. All right, Flame Wall. This is something that I might also like as well. The skill is available from early in the game and creates an area of burning flames. So it's burning. Not ignite, burning. Any enemies that pass through it will be inflicted with a secondary burning effect. This means that you can place a flame wall between you and your enemies, then watch them melt as they try to reach you. Any projectiles fired through the wall will have fire damage added to the projectile. These flaming projectiles will apply the wall's secondary burning effect to enemies they hit. I mean, this one we've known a little bit more about. They kind of more explained. I like the focus on the burn because it's just interesting in PoE right now. I don't know how big of a fan I am of the flat damage, but giving attack-based abilities a form of comboing that isn't war cries is pretty cool. I think that's a cool idea. I can get behind it. Hopefully it works for like wanders and bows and all this sort of shit. But yeah, I mean, I think fire abilities need this sort of skill. I think especially bow characters need this sort of skill. I think it's pretty cool. It's an interesting way to put a spin on the current PoE balance. It's much cooler than just fucking tweaking numbers. And if you can combo it with other things, I mean, nobody's saying that you can't use this with the Frost Wall, with the Sigil, right? Can you use all of them and then have like a main ability and just like stack that shit and essentially deal single target damage through buffs. I don't think there's anything that locks you out, right? Again, to me, it's much more interesting than just being like, okay, Fireball deals 20% more damage. Here you go. But guys, you want to play Fireball? Here's a new support gem that does 49% more damage when you use Fireball. Like, we've had a lot of that in the past, and they've been doing a much better job, and I feel like this is peak developer performance right here. In terms of all of these abilities, really. It's just that, yeah. I don't think Path of Exile as a game is ready for these three just yet. Again, depends on the numbers. It could be that they're just total shit. But if the numbers are there, mechanically, I think these are incredibly powerful. I think they're going to fit a lot better into PoE 2, considering where the game's going. But for right now, in this transitional period, just to summarize the whole argument, these could be interesting, yeah. But it might also be a means for people through a strong ability like this to like warm up to comboing things and playing more combo abilities rather than one-click stuff. I'm down with it, you know? I'm down with it.